Period.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
What up?
What's up? We are live. We are
Two
live.
missing three.
So welcome everyone.
Hello.
Hey,
All right.
we ready.
We ready. Okay. Welcome to Watch Party Live. This is Sydney.
And this is Lydia.
And this is Brian St. John.
And we are on the Hit List Network on Facebook. We're live. Okay. The finale. Insecure, season 4, episode 10. Was it low-key Lost? Woo! It really needs to be an hour. Can I like?
Yes.
Yeah, it really does.
On.
Yeah, at least give me 45 minutes.
It's so we get so cheated.
Yeah.
So cheated.
Yeah.
So okay, get it out. Get it out. What's the overall feeling?
Well, I mean, I think we knew the last time we talked that we kind of had a feeling that she was pregnant. So that was confirmed for us tonight.
Put these headphones on. I forgot. Yeah, we knew. Come on now.
We did. We mentioned it. We mentioned it.
Yeah, we mentioned it. Molly is dysfunctional, as we all know, and controlling. And I think that he was right, because we all knew he was feeling this for a minute, and I think he was holding on because he was trying to make it work, because he really does like Molly, but Molly she's too much. Because if I'm giving everything, I'm giving 110 to you. Everything you want me to do, I'm doing. Everything I want you to do with me, you're not. Or you bend just a little bit, but you're not really bending. And it's always a struggle for me to get you to do something that I want you to do. I don't need to be in that relationship anymore. It's not an equal relationship. So I understood his point of view, because I've been there. I think we've all probably been there. So, I felt bad for Issa, though, because Issa and Lawrence.
Let's stay on Andrew.
Yeah.
Let's stay on Andrew and Molly. I agree. It was written all over his face from day one. We've been seeing how he's been feeling, and he's not really a talkative person, and so you really get to see everything unfold in his actions. And he was being stifled. He wasn't able to really get out what he was saying. I mean, what he was feeling, and Molly didn't really see him and didn't recognize those cues that he was giving. And so the relationship, in my opinion, was doomed from the start.
Yes. And yes.
Yeah.
He had to find his voice.
Yeah. And then remember, there was one point where I think Molly was talking to Issa, and talking to her crew, and somebody asked her, like, do you even really like him? Or she had said, I don't know if I really feel him like that. She had already said it from the beginning, something like that. So that's how she was going into it. And I know that she started to like him more, but you could pretty much tell, like, every single time it was a matter of, he was like, can we do such and such? And she was just like, no, maybe not. Like, you could tell it was just chipping away at him.
He asked her the key question: what are you fighting for? Do you know what you're fighting for?
And she couldn't answer.
Are you fighting for me as an Andrew, or are you fighting just to keep this relationship because it's the longest one you've had?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So when he
asked you want
that,
something to work in your life.
Yeah.
Right. So when he asked that, that's what made me remember, like, she wasn't even sure that she liked him like that from the beginning. Yeah, it was doomed. I think we even said it. I think we even said that it was doomed.
Yeah, because
like, it wasn't.
It was all about his ethnicity.
Right.
I'm tongue tied. Y'all know what I'm
talking about. Right.
No,
it's the beard.
Yeah. We said.
we gotta keep it spicy. Go ahead, Lydia.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, that was he kept saying like these little things all along to her, and it was.
Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, Lydia. If y'all hearing fireworks, I'm so sorry. It's Brooklyn, and I know it's happening in all of our boroughs right now. So just please bear with it. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. We didn't say anything.
Yeah.
It's for the other people, not y'all. Go ahead, Lydia.
So yeah, I think we had said it before that this relationship had an expiration date for sure, and I don't know. I felt like, yep, once that is over, I knew she was gonna call Issa. I knew she was like that was just I knew she was gonna call.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to call the person that knows you and understands you the most, who you can get your feelings out to, and that's
of
Issa.
course.
And she seems to have no other friends.
She doesn't. She
where are all your other friends?
What she was trying to do was she was trying to replace Issa with Andrew.
Right.
And you can never do that. Don't replace the person you're dating with your best friend, because when something goes wrong with the person you're dating, you need that best friend to talk to. And she had to
well, that's if your best friend isn't your mate.
Yeah.
She just she was on the outs. She was brand new. Wait, Ann said Andrew was whack. That was him giving.
Yes, Ann.
No.
Team Andrew and
I'm team Andrew.
I'm team Andrew.
And you probably didn't see the whole season because
Molly
giving.
Yeah, Molly is too much. She's too much. She's overbearing. She is controlling. She's the alpha in that relationship. Like everything was her. She didn't give him room to, even like, hey, do you want to do something just with me or something I want to do?
She didn't compromise. She didn't give in to him or put him first ever. And that's a big thing. Like, men, we have egos and we need to feel important. And she never really made him feel that way.
And when they were in Mexico, he took the high road. He let that whole thing slide with his brother. And then he didn't address it. He let it go. He touched upon it, but he let it go out of respect for her and the relationship. But I knew it was eating him up inside, and he really wanted to address it and talk to her about it. But he decided, you know what? I'm with her. We're just going to move on. We're going to move past this, and hopefully everything will come back together.
I'm wondering, did race play into it, just in terms of Black women being more dominant and Asian men being more submissive? What do you think?
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
because I just really looked at it.
What do y'all think in the box? What do y'all think?
I think it was Molly's just really dominant. She just really is. So I just looked at it as, oh, here she goes, steamrolling again. Like that's what she does. She just steamrolls people in her relationships. So I really looked at it.
Everything's all about her. It's what she wants to do. It's, I want to do this. I want to go here. I want to drink this. I want to do this. Her compromise is, oh, we're going to go to the same event, which is my event, and I'll have the DJ play your music to appease you. That's the compromise.
Yes.
Not that you've been here all this hour with me and my colleagues who you have no idea who they are. We're all talking lawyer talk. I know you're bored and they want to go to some other thing. Okay, you know what? You put in your time. Let's do what you want to do now. You gave me my time. Now it's time for me to give you your time. But that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tanya's correct.
No, everybody's weighing in. It's not a race thing.
Tanya's correct. Molly,
I just want to bring that up. I just wanted to bring the race thing to the discussion, just to have a dialogue on it.
Tanya's correct. Molly is messy. I said it last. I'll say it again. Messy Molly. You know what I mean? She definitely is. Oh, and to my friend Dave, welcome. Good to see you on here. But Issa, it's not Issa and Andrew. It's Issa and Lawrence. So Issa didn't cheat on Andrew. I think he made a comment about that or something. So
Andrew said he knew they weren't a fit. He said that. But he tried. But you're not always a fit with the person that you meet. Sometimes you kind of just mold yourself into that, if you guys know what I mean, because opposites do attract a lot of time. Right. So sometimes you may see somebody and you're like, I'm not really into them. And then as you start spending time with them, you grow to kind of like each other because you start doing the same things and liking being around that person. She never really gave him a chance.
Okay. Well,
it was convenient for her because they lasted a long time in terms of him giving and her just accepting the fact that, hey, he's with me.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to totally just jump on the bash Molly train. I got to give her some points for trying.
Yeah.
To the bitter end, she was trying. This is a lot of growth for her this season.
A lot.
Like we've seen her. She's a hard person to crack, and we've been seeing her really take the necessary step and look inward towards herself and her faults.
Yeah.
And even in the last discussion with Andrew, we saw her really thinking, and she came back after the situation happened that we're going to address in a minute, and came back and started to say, okay, let's finish our conversation. Let's try and make this work. Let's just not just call it quits. Let's have a discussion, and I'm willing to fight for it. And so hats off to Molly. I'll
give her a little credit for that. But again,
just to get a little bit of credit.
But again, I feel I didn't give her much because I still felt like she's trying to hold on to the relation, to the relationship. Okay. I just want to be in the relationship. No. I've been trying. I don't want it to fail. I've been trying so hard with the relationship. Not that she was like, no, I want you, Andrew. I want you. I'm holding on to you. I'm fighting for you. So we'll give her a tiny bit of credit. Just a little bit.
So let's ease into the main relationship at hand.
Right. Can I just go back for a second to go on your point, Lydia, and go back to even Mexico? He did all the right things, even in terms of the tasks that they did, because remember they were supposed to, I guess, bring certain toys and tools or whatever. Like he really thought about what to bring, and she didn't. So even that whole Mexico.
No, she did. She
tried in her way.
Yeah, in her way.
Okay.
She did in her way. She wasn't thinking like that. He was the one to bring out the freak.
Right. Again, she was trying. She was trying. She'd never tried before, so this was different for her.
Issa, come on. We gotta jump in it. Come on.
No, because
all right, people, let's jump in it.
Okay.
Comments. Let's hold on. Comments. We gotta get to the main. We gotta get to the meat of the show. We gotta get to Issa and Lawrence. What? You saw it coming. Like everything was just too perfect. Yeah, it was just going so smooth. We knew that a bomb was gonna drop at some point. Didn't know where it was gonna come from. But especially after last week when Lawrence just breezed over and said that, I spoke to Condola. We're cool. And I'm like, you spoke to her and that's it? I was like, okay, we're not going to revisit the conversation?
Right.
So I guess there was more, and so she dropped the bomb that she's pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Discuss. What are your thoughts?
Oh my God. First, let me say that I loved how they did the scene. Like Lawrence would ask the question and then they would go to Condola that would answer. Oh my God. I loved how they played that.
Yeah.
But it was like my heart dropped for Issa. I felt for her. Like, oh my gosh, she really was like, okay, he forgave me. We're past that. This is new, clean slate. I'm gonna be straight. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be open. And then
she was willing to move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So I felt for her. Oh my God, I felt for her. I really did. But I wasn't, I wasn't mad at Lawrence because it's not like he did it on purpose or anything.
You can't be mad at Lawrence. They were not together. He was in a relationship with Condola. It happened. So and it was unexpected for him and Issa to get back together anyway. So that kind of fell back into pocket between the two of them. So you can't be mad at Lawrence at all. It's just life. Life throws things at you, and you just got to deal with it. Now, Issa, can you deal with the man that he's not with her? He wants to be with you, but he's gonna have a baby by her. It's either you're gonna either be able to deal with it if you really want to be with him, or you're gonna have to get to step in and just walk and let it go.
Yeah, it's
Didn't do anything
Maria.
wrong.
Sorry, Brian. Maria said Lawrence needs 4 to 5 condoms.
He does.
You know Lawrence don't wear condoms.
Lawrence don't wear.
Now we know that.
He had the STI.
Remember, Issa broke him because he used to wear condoms with Issa, and then all of a sudden, when she broke him,
Lawrence, nasty Lawrence, nasty.
What's a condom? Okay, and can we give kudos to Nathan for
great.
stepping up and taking responsibility for his conversation he had with Issa last week.
Yeah.
And admitting that he was wrong and he was just going off emotion. I was just like, yo, Nathan's pretty dope. He's a stand-up dude.
Yes, he did a adult thing. Yes, he was adult. But
they can't be friends. Like, if she stays with Lawrence, they can't be friends. Because he really, really, really likes Issa.
Well, yeah. You can't.
It's
that's
too
the thing
hard
with
for him to be around her when he really likes her like that. Like because he's always going to be trying to flirt, all this kind of. He's going to try and play it nice and play the cool guy, but he really likes her, and you can tell he really likes her. And they kind of fit. To be honest with you, I like them together because they work.
Yeah, that's the thing with men and women. If there's an attraction on one side, there can't be a friendship.
Yeah, because
especially on the male side.
Yeah,
there's always it's like we're always looking for that one window. That one window.
Go ahead, Sid. Explain.
That one window where it's like, wait, it's a crack. Oh yeah, they're like, I'm jumping in. And so Nathan will sit there and be in the wings and be like, oh, okay. Lawrence fucked up again. Okay.
Yes, Maria. He does look at her like a full course meal. Yes,
he does. You can see the heat between them still. Is
it me? But Lawrence gives me Common. I feel like when I watch him, it feels like Common could have played this role to a T.
Why? Because Common is community peen and he get it around. Is that why? I mean, they similar.
They're similar, right?
Similar, yeah.
Yeah. They how they move around the neighborhood is pretty similar. Yeah, definitely. No, this was really, we knew something was, Lawrence is a cornball. No,
Ed is a hater. Ed is a hater.
Ed hating on quite a few people.
No, Lawrence is a cornball and Issa's a cornball. You got two cornballs.
Yeah.
They match.
They
totally match.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you, Brian, about Nathan and them being friends. I really think that Issa, she needs to step up and be like, yo, I like you or whatever, but we can't do this because you still see
the can't be friends.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you for that rendition.
But I do that now. If she doesn't go stick with Lawrence, she's good.
Right. No, and that's the window Sid was talking about.
Yeah.
That has now opened. But
good. Yeah.
Like them being friends, I was thinking the same thing. Like, nah, Issa, just be on the up and up. Don't, because that's gonna open up, a whole other can of worms. But you're right. Now it's like Lawrence has this whole situation going on. So is she gonna now be like, or is she gonna be around Nathan at one moment and he'll like, oh, so what's going on with you? And then take that opportunity. It'd be interesting to see. But you know what else is fun? What I thought about too, like I was happy that Lawrence and Issa worked it out and got together, but I'm not mad at her and Nathan. Like if they got together, I wouldn't be mad at that either. You know what I mean? Right. Do y'all feel that way? Do y'all feel that way, or do you want to be with one or the other?
Well, no, I just don't feel that Issa hasn't really given Nathan that energy to me. She likes him, but she really hasn't expressed like I want to get with him.
Well, I think him leaving so abruptly has a lot to do with it. She only now knows why he left abruptly. So I think that kind of plays into the whole relationship and dynamics between the two of them. So now that she knows and understands what happened to him, her mindset kind of changes. So
right. I don't. You know, well, I haven't seen her look at him in a different way post that conversation. She just sees him as a friend. That's what I see. So
No, I see a little. Neil Muhammad said Issa and Nathan cannot work. Okay. I mean,
we won't know. How about that?
Yeah, we don't. But I can understand. I can understand where he's coming from with that. You know what I'm saying? Because Issa, again, he broke out. So it's like trust. I don't trust my heart with you because you bounced on me before. So I don't know if you would do that again. So you know, maybe she's just like, you know, I like him, but no, I'm good because he bounced on me and I don't trust him like that again. So
let me ask you guys a question. Long distance relationships. Can you do it or can you not do it? Do you think it can work or do you think it doesn't work at all?
Well, I think it's the case. I think there's no general thing. It really depends on you and that person and the level of communication you have. I think it can work. It just depends on how open they are. Like we've seen a different Issa and Lawrence in the last few episodes where they're communicating, they're talking now. Right? And so the old Issa and Lawrence couldn't have done that long distance thing. But this new dynamic of what they got going on where they talk immediately and they talk it through and no one leaves. I think it you know, because think about it, San Francisco is not that far.
No, it's not.
It's a 45-minute flight. Yeah. And so I really think it really depends. And now we're at a point with technology where you can do anything on technology. You know, we're living through that right now. If you're not quarantined with your person, you're having a long distance relationship now. Yeah. And so
I agree.
Yeah, I really think it really depends on the level you're on in the relationship.
I agree. I think it depends on the individuals and their maturity and them being open and communicating and talking. I do think that it is possible. And I do think who Issa and Lawrence are now, how their relationship is now, I do feel like, I think they could actually do that if they stay. Now, this little twist that happened, of course, we know, like, oh my gosh, but no, how they are now with each other, I feel like they could kind of carry that off and do that long distance. And like Chrissy had mentioned, like LA and Frisco is easy. That's not far. Yeah. You know, so they could totally do it. But I think they could. I think it could be done, like long distance relationships. Yeah.
No, I mean, I agree with both of y'all. I think it's all about like you said, the maturity of the two people and also the conversation. If you're constantly communicating with one another, and keeping in touch with one another, and there's no lingering of communication, then I think it could all work. You know, we've got Skype, we've got Duo, we've got you Zoom and all these other things that we can use now to actually physically see each other versus just talking to each other on the phone. But even if you're just talking on the phone, I still think it can work. It's just a matter of communication and keeping that open dialogue between each other and trust. Trust is the key factor of everything, because if there's no trust, then it's never going to work anyway.
I feel that you changed your attitude. Is it me? I feel like when you posed the question that you were leaning into no.
No.
Okay.
I've been in several business relationships. It doesn't bother me.
Can I talk?
Yes, go Lydia. Go Lydia.
How, you know what? Can we talk about how they touched on 3 really important topics, like things happening? One with Tiffany, and her. It looked like she was dealing with postpartum depression, which I thought was so. If that's what it was, it looked like that. I thought that was great that they brought that in, because I feel like that's they didn't go into it too much, but I feel like that's what they were kind of touching on.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah,
that leads
part of my. I'm sorry, Sydney.
That leads me.
Who's go ahead?
That leads me into. I wanted to break down each of the characters, and so I was gonna say Tiffany next, because I always say this every time we watch this show, is my issue is that they don't spotlight the other characters enough. And Brian's rolling his eyes, and you should roll your eyes, because I feel the same way that you do, that there's so much meat and substance there. And I think it adds to the show if you develop the other characters. And so they gave us a taste of what was going on with Tiffany early on in the season, and I'm glad that they wrapped it up. But I wanted to go through it. I really wanted to go through it with her.
Yeah,
that was a scary situation.
Yeah,
I'm like, because they could have went in any direction.
Yeah, Sydney, I agree with you, and Lydia, I agree on the whole postpartum depression thing. I didn't feel like they went in enough for me, because I think it is a very serious topic of discussion, and I felt like they could have touched on it a little bit more, because I think it still was surface level for me, and the jokes were great, but I think the jokes kind of took away from the seriousness a little bit of it for me, and I really wanted them to kind of touch a little bit more on it. So yeah.
I hope that they do. I hope they do go into it for the next season. And they talk about it and get into the other characters a little bit more. I would like to see.
I don't think they will. We're going into season 5. And
right.
You all pointed out to me that it's not a 4-person show. It's a 2-person show. Yeah. 2-person show. And so what they do is they tap, but they don't really go into it because they left. Like Kelly's character, they relegated her to be the comic relief, the fat friend that's always telling jokes. And even in this situation, she's still telling jokes. And, normally when someone is that funny, there's a lot of pain behind the jokes. And they could have really dived into, just give us one episode. And you could split it in half with Kelly and Tiffany, just to give us some backstory, what's going on with them. That's all I ask. Yeah, but they won't. They cram Tiffany into the season finale, and they're probably not going to touch on her again next season.
I know. The other thing too,
and I agree with you in this retrospect, Sydney, because I do feel as though for the past 3, I think, episodes, they could have touched upon a little bit more of the postpartum. And they could have mixed it in with those last 3 episodes leading up to this, where we could really see the blow up of her just leaving her husband and just escaping. So because we haven't seen, it's been 3 episodes since we've seen her character. So I do agree with you, Sydney, with that.
Yeah. And the other thing they touched on too is the whole police and how they did, the situation when they got off the bus.
Yes.
They kind of delved into that, but again, they just touched on it.
They touched on it. There's an acknowledgement. There's an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was like, okay, cool. But it kind of left me like, I wanted a little bit more into those like 2 scenes or situations. But I get it. I mean, it revolves around Issa and Molly. I get it. But I would still like to see a little bit more of the other 2 characters too. Yeah,
it'll make the show that much more richer, because for me, I look at the show is called Insecure. Right. So everybody on it is insecure. It's not the Molly and Issa show. And so they're not locked or trapped.
For them it is. Yes.
What?
I said technically for them it is. That's how they wrote the show.
But they can morph into the others. Like they're not stuck on just the two characters, and so it'll be that much more a better show if they just explain them a little bit more. But that's me on my soapbox.
No,
you know. But that leads me to something that we really haven't discussed, and it's been under the radar, and it's been going over our head. Is the show within a show? Can we talk about Looking for Latoya? Can we talk about Looking for Latoya? Every season, there is a show that they're watching within the show. And this season, it was
Looking for Latoya.
Looking for Latoya, starring Terry J. Vaughn.
Yeah.
You know, who we love from the Steve Harvey show.
Yes.
And this girl, which is a serious, they made light of it, but it's a serious issue within our community where a lot of girls go missing in the Black community, and it never makes headlines. It never makes the news. And so they sort of made it funny here, but they brought light to it within this series. And I think it really needs to be addressed. And after the show, right now, while we're speaking, they have a podcast. They made an official scripted podcast for Looking for Latoya.
Oh, really?
Yes. They're discussing it right now as we speak.
Wow.
Okay,
wow. Yes. Yeah. Which I think is incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, I like how they touch on the things that are going on, you know, currently and like in real life. I like how they weave it into, you know, the show and into the overall story. Yeah. So, but yeah, when they got back to the house and he was like, yeah, I'm just going to watch, you know, Looking for Latoya. And I was like, there go Latoya again, you know? And I was like, I love how they do that. Like, yeah, and they're all watching it. Like, I think that's so funny. You know, I definitely think that's funny. I like that.
So hopefully they find her and she's not murdered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm hoping.
I wanted to also touch upon now Molly and Issa's relationship and getting back together. Would you have gone if Molly had called you? Knowing the back history, knowing the argument, knowing the last word she kind of said to you when they were at Andrew's house, just everything.
Yes.
You were gone.
Yeah.
Yes. You know why? Because of the conversation they had on the bus with Tiffany's husband. And they were sitting and he was talking and they were thinking about their relationship. And it hit home. His words hit home to them. And so that's their best friends. They're best friends. And they both really don't want the relationship to dissolve. But they just hit a bump in the road and they just can't get past it. They can't get on the same wavelength, but they still really care about one another. That's why it's so awkward.
Okay, so to your point of you feeling that way, and that's what brought them back together. Suppose that never happened. None of the incident didn't happen, and they weren't looking for her on the bus, and they didn't have that conversation with the husband on the bus and everything. So now we're just sitting with the last experience that we had with each other, and the call went out. Would you still have gone, knowing that she said that I don't need you? You know, you go your way, I'm going my way. Would you have still have gone if she had reached out to you to sit down?
I would say yes, because Issa said, I've been the one to always put the olive branch forward. And so this is the first time Molly is extending her hand to say, I'm ready, let's talk.
Right.
Issa's always been open and willing to resolve this. It's been Molly who's had the roadblock up. And so now Molly is saying, okay, can we meet? I'm ready to have this discussion. Issa's always been open.
Right. Yeah.
And Tanya, I agree with you. But go ahead.
Yes, I agree, Tanya. I do. But I think that was the thing that Issa needed, like, which is why she was like, I'm going, because Molly, you know, was like, hey, can we talk? But I agree with Tanya because of the whole Andrew thing, and the scene that they had on the bus a little bit too. But I think the Andrew situation, that conversation, put the cherry on top. And then that's when Molly was like, "Hey, Issa, can we talk or whatever?" Like that kind of pushed it over the top or whatever. But Issa has always wanted. She wants that. Issa wants it. Issa wants them to be friends. It's been Molly, messy Molly, that has just been like, I'm not really feeling you.
Also, what Issa's going through, Issa doesn't have someone else to talk to about Lawrence. So she needed that ear to release all of that's going on. It's a lot that just hit her. And so she needs someone else to talk to. She can't talk to Tiffany. Right. Kelly is just too much of a jokester. Yeah, she can't have that one-on-one with her, so she needs an ear. And so Molly's that one.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Chrissy said, who else Molly gonna talk to? Dr. Rhonda. She needs to talk to Dr. Rhonda.
Shout out for knowing Dr. Rhonda's name. I didn't remember Dr. Rhonda's name.
Oh my God.
Thank you to our fact checker for the watch party fact checker, Chrissy. Thank you.
I love it, Chrissy. I love it.
All right, so I'm torn. I probably would go yes. I don't know if I would be as receptive to the conversation, only because I'm a Scorpio and Scorpios kind of hold things in and we're a little bitter. So I would sit down and I would listen. I don't know. Oh yeah, all three of us.
You talking to two Scorpios? No,
I'm like, excuse me.
I'm evolved.
Right.
I'm evolved.
But I would listen. I don't know I think it would take a while for our relationship to, of course, mend itself and get back to a place where we can kiki and laugh and be comfortable the way we were. And I don't know if we would ever get back to that place, because now that you've gone through this whole experience, I think your friendship is going to change a little bit. So I think the dynamics of your friendship is you'll get back to a certain place where you're good. I don't know if you'll get back to that place where you were before. And that's just me and just my feeling.
Yeah, it definitely is going to take some work. You know what it reminded me of a little bit of the show Girlfriends with Tracy Ellis Ross, her character Joan, and Tony. Oh, I so disliked Tony. Oh my God, I couldn't stand Tony because she was the friend that was always in need, and Joan was always coming through for her. And then when Joan said, I can't, like, you're pulling for me emotionally, Tony got upset and then stopped speaking to Joan. It reminded me of that situation. Like, really?
Well, Insecure is only Girlfriends Part 2.
Right. No.
And what made Girlfriends is that it dealt with 4 women and they showed the backstory for 4 women, so you were able to get into each of the characters.
Yeah, I never.
That's why.
I never watched that.
That's why. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you.
I never saw Girlfriends.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay. You know Brian and his TV watching.
I know.
So you got to give him credit for sticking out this long with Insecure.
I know.
I watch what I like, and when I like it, I it.
You know what?
You
should go back. You should go back and watch Girlfriends. That was classic.
It was classic.
It's classic.
Yeah, gotta watch it. It was
it's classic. And Molly and what's her name?
Tony.
Tony are almost the same character.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're very similar.
Yeah.
The same. So
they're very similar.
I just say that because the words are still there. Like you've already said what you had to say to each other, and what you said was honest, and it's what you really believe about each other. So you have to get through that conversation, that difficult conversation of, hey, this is how you really feel about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have that. Now you have to have that uncomfortable conversation, and you can't just keep through it, because the words were already spoken, and I know how you feel about me, and certain things that I do, and you know how I feel about you, and certain things that you do. So now you have to talk through that.
Are you talking about the show or something personal?
No, I'm talking about the show.
Okay, I'm just checking.
But regardless of whether it's a show, whether it's real life, it still is a real thing. Like, people go through these situations all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You've never had a difficult conversation or situation with a best friend, or an argument where words are exchanged and y'all have to sit down and talk about it and express your feelings of, yo, is this how you really feel about me?
Yeah, not arguments or anything like that. But there have been times where, you have to have an honest conversation with somebody you're close to and let them know, this is how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? And you would only hope that that person is honest with you too. It has to go two ways. You know what I'm saying? And yes, words were said or whatever, but if you really, value that friendship, despite what has happened and words said, you're going to want to, back to Molly, what do you want, Molly? Do you want to be right, or you want Issa back? Like, it comes down to that. And that's what it comes down to in life. Listen, you could be right all day, but you're going to be right without a relationship or a friendship. So do you want to be right, or do you want your friend back? So that's how I feel about it. Yeah, words were said, you get upset, and but you got to work through that. You can't, if you want the friendship, you got to work through it, and you got to forgive. You got to forgive if you want to work past it. So,
I think they're going to do a lot of talking over the hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have months and months of healing because the show probably won't be back for probably a year because of the pandemic.
Right.
And so they hopefully they jump forward and Condola has the baby by then.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Maybe, because I'm hearing that production on a lot of stuff is starting back on Monday, actually, for a lot of shows. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. I mean, Chrissy said, I'm pissed. The season's over. Now we got to wait 2 more years to see more.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before we see it. Regardless.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while.
And I hate waiting that long. I do. Yeah. It's so.
I mean, look at ATL. Is that ever coming back?
I know what happened.
Like, I don't know what Donald Glover. I'm like, okay, you just gonna leave us hanging? Because it was Insecure and ATL back to back, and so we had one went off. We watched the other one. He just left us. He left us. So now we got.
You didn't watch ATL?
No, I started in.
Lydia, I just said it. We got him on Insecure. You can't expect him to ride the train.
Lydia. Sorry. No, I started watching it the first season, and it just didn't do anything for me.
It's brilliant. Anyway.
It's brilliant.
Let it be brilliant for both of y'all. It wasn't brilliant for me. I
know. It was too black.
No,
yes, I said it.
It has nothing to do with too black.
Okay. Yes, I said it.
Yes, I said it.
It didn't do anything for me. Black, white, red, Indian, it doesn't matter. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't.
moving right along.
Right. So for the finale, let's give it a rating, people. What are we saying? 1 out of 5. And
I would give it a 5.
We've given every episode thus far 5, right? 5.
Yeah. This was good.
It was a good finale.
This was good because sometimes the episode before finale is like
better,
really good, and then the finale comes and you're left like, really? This what y'all? I didn't feel like this with with this episode. I was like, okay, this was a good, way to end it. Makes you think and so forth. So yeah, 5.
Yeah.
A 5.
Chris,
you want to get into the comments a little bit too?
Okay, what?
Chrissy said 2. Chrissy, why you say 2?
Why, Chrissy? Why didn't you like this episode? Really? What did it for you? What didn't do it for you?
Neil, it can't be longer. It's a 30-minute show.
Yeah, HBO, it wasn't giving them a full hour. They said, "Here you go, here you go."
So
it's too black.
Chrissy,
Rick gave it a 4.
Chrissy,
okay.
Oh yeah,
Tanya gave it a 4.
Right. Chrissy gave it a 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need Chrissy to explain. She has to explain. She has to
explain yourself.
You can't just drop a 2 and then
Issa
walk out the room.
That's why you gave it a 2?
Issa's hurt. Wow. Okay,
Chris. Why you gave it a 2?
All right. Neil gave it a 3. He said 3. It needed to be longer.
Neil gave it a 3 because he wants it to be longer. It's a half an hour show. Go.
Woo! Rick gave it a 4. Yes. So it looks like mostly everybody was kind of happy.
Everyone was satisfied.
Kind of satisfied with it. Yes, I do wish it was longer too. I mean, it was. I felt like, dang, it's over. Yeah, but it is what it is.
It is.
They have to go to their next black show right after that. So
right. So speaking of next black show, what do you think? You guys in the box, what do you think we should talk about next in terms of shows? What should we be watching? What recommendations do you have? I know that I May Destroy You just started, and that's on its 2nd episode. I'll probably watch that later on tonight. And then we have Greenleaf. We have Greenleaf, and this final season of Greenleaf is coming on, I think, next week.
Yeah.
And then we have The Shy, which is, I don't know when that's starting.
Next week.
Oh, okay. They're both next week.
Yeah.
Okay. And we got to see how the show handles the loss of Jason Mitchell.
Well, which is funny because through the trailers, have you seen the trailer yet?
Yeah.
The trailer looks like it's a completely different show to me.
It may be a time jump.
Yeah, because it looks like a whole new show from the trailer that I saw.
Yeah, it may be a time jump because they left us with a cliffhanger with Jason. Yeah. With Jason Mitchell's character. And so, maybe they have to move forward a year. With it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But yeah.
We'll see. But that's a show.
I'm looking forward to Greenleaf. I'm looking forward to it. I love that show.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
In the beginning, it wasn't one of my.
They got better season by season.
Yeah, it wasn't one of my go-to shows to watch immediately. It would be one of my. I'll get to it maybe on the weekend.
I'm sorry, Chrissy.
But then, Chrissy. But then
the Black Bachelor, Chrissy.
but then it got better and better each season, and then it got to the top of my list of I have to watch this right away. Type shows. So I'm looking. I think that's gonna be good. I hope so. I hope it doesn't take you up and then drop you down somewhere, leave you hanging. So I'm looking forward to that definitely. And again, no Chrissy, no Bachelor, no Black Bachelor.
Only if it's a bunch of black girls on there. But if it's the normal 1 or 2 black girls, and then they're sassy and they're fighting each other, and then the rest are white and everything else, I'm not trying to see it.
Yeah.
And it also depends on what kind of black guy he is. I only seen his picture. I don't know if he's black or black other.
Well, he used to be a football player, I think, as well. So.
No, I'm talking about his personality.
You don't like a distinguished black man?
I didn't say distinguished. I'm just saying if he's not black.
Black.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. If he's Carlton Banks or if he's the Fresh Prince.
You don't like a distinguished black man, y'all.
No, I'm distinguished. What are you talking about?
You are, Sid.
Are you?
You are distinguished.
I am.
Yes, you are.
I am. Right. You don't see my art on the wall?
I do. It's beautiful, and I love it. I love it. Yeah, I agree. I'm not into that. Watching that, none of it. I'm not into it. So
I have never watched a Bachelor or a Bachelorette on ABC a day in my life, and I am not watching one now. I didn't even watch when the black girl was on there.
We offended. I offended our boss. Our producer. I offended our producer. I don't know what you're talking about. Question marks. I don't know. I'm just expressing myself. I can't. This is an opinion based show, and it is what it is.
I see it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think I hit a nerve.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, similarities between Girls Trip and Insecure.
Oh yeah.
What?
My friend Dave asked, do you see any similarities between Girls Trip and Insecure? What do y'all think?
I
mean, Girls Trip was about a trip. Women reunite once a year, that they don't see each other on a regular basis. I think it's two different things. I see it more as girlfriends, where these people are in each other's lives every single day. Yeah. And that Girls Trip was really based around an event.
A moment.
Yeah, a moment. You're right.
And I'll take Kelly over Tiffany Haddish any day.
He has this thing about Tiffany Haddish and Gabrielle Sidibe.
No, I have nothing against. What does Gabrielle Sidibe have to do with anything?
And what did you
I have no issues with Gabrielle Sidibe.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Okay. We're getting brand new. We're being brand new for the.
No, we're not brand new.
Anyway. So yes. Any other? Yo, y'all are hilarious. Oh my god.
Throw that one in there. I was like, you tell me what my issue with Gabrielle Sidibe is.
No, yeah, I want to hear.
No.
Thank you.
So, folks, we ain't gonna hear what the issue is. Dave,
there is no issue.
There's none. Dave gave the show Insecure a 5. He gave it a 5. So that's the only 5 that I've seen in the comments from somebody.
Everybody else is 4. 1, 3, and 1, 2.
Yeah. Heather says, I'm just here for the shade. Oh my God. Because she ain't seen Insecure. She hasn't. There was something else that she said. Heather. She said she's just here for the shade.
Yeah, Heather don't watch TV.
She hasn't seen Insecure. She said, I think she said she has to go and watch Girlfriends. She hasn't watched that.
Fantasy Island.
No, I think she watched Girlfriends. She was saying that Brian didn't watch Girlfriends.
Oh, that Brian did. Okay.
Yeah, but I've always made it clear I didn't watch Girlfriends.
Go and watch it.
I will.
Yeah.
You're probably right. I'm just saying. I'm like,
right? Don't say you're gonna watch it. You ain't gonna watch it.
He's making it like I look like the bad guy, but I'm like, okay, I'm only speaking the truth.
If you ain't gonna watch it, then say you're not gonna watch it.
Okay.
No, I gotta find it. If it ain't on HD, I don't want to watch it.
Forget it. Forget it. You ain't gonna.
Snob.
Okay.
It ain't.
All right. Well, okay. All right. We can drag this out. But again, it was a great finale for Insecure. Kudos to Issa and the team for pulling off a great finale. And we look forward to the next season.
Yeah.
So any closing words, anything you want to say, leave the party people with?
David, I did watch The Watchmen. The Watchmen was dope. Heather, you have no intentions of watching The Watchmen, so knock it off. Go ahead.
Okay, that's his final thought. Okay, Lydia?
My final thought is just I'm just looking. I'm kind of like bummed out. We got to wait so long for the next season because I would love to see how they play out the whole Lawrence and Issa thing and the Molly and Issa thing. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, all righty then. It's been your boy Sydney, Ryan,
your final
and Lydia.
Huh?
No, that's my final thoughts. Is that I just said it was a great show. I kicked it off with my final thoughts.
My bad.
You know. Okay. And so on that note, look, check us out next week for some more shade.
Friday. What are we talking about on Friday?
The Five Bloods.
We're going to be reviewing. Yes, that's what we're going to be reviewing.
The Five Bloods on Spike Lee's movie on Netflix. We're going to be reviewing that next on Friday.
Yeah, Friday at 10 p.m.
Cool. Thank you for watching The Watch Party on the Hit List Network. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Everyone.
Take care.